So, good morning. This is the first of my morning videos, hopefully not the last, and more of a regular thing to make videos first thing in the morning as I am heading off across the parks here in Dublin to get to work. Anyway, today I wanted to have a chat about the whole Strait of Hormuz and the increase in the price of oil. And the main factor with this that has occurred to me and that I have seen coming up over and over again on commentary about this is the fact that 90% of the traffic has been stopped going through the Straits of Hormuz, which are straits between the United Arab Emirates and the Islamic Republic of Iran, due to the military action taking place between America, Israel and Iran in that area. This has increased the price of oil dramatically, and it's going to start to really pinch very, very soon, and won't settle down again for months, if not years. The last time something like this happened was in the 1980s with the oil embargoes with the OPEC countries, and it really strikes home the fact that the world is really held to ransom by these oil producing companies, companies and countries. Like you have Russia, who cut off their oil to Europe and made a huge big song and dance about it at the beginning of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Europe having to scramble around the place to try and get alternatives. You have the Middle Eastern countries who basically use their oil reserves as bargaining chips and make a huge amount of money out of it, and sometimes use that money for very nefarious means. Like, where do you think Iran got all its money to support Hezbollah and Hamas and other terrorist organizations in that region? So not to mention the whole Venezuelan thing as well, like the Americans going in and taking out Maduro, president of Venezuela, so they could have a pro-American regime in Venezuela that really hasn't changed, could get access to their oil, which is one of the largest oil reserves, if not the largest oil reserve in the world. You know what is completely free, isn't under the control of any one jurisdiction, and can be very readily accessed with modern technology to produce energy: green energy. Yeah, so these whole wars on oil that have been basically going on since the early 2000s are absolutely ridiculous, because there is the technology and there is the know-how there to produce more than enough energy for any one state to go relatively mostly green. Here in Ireland, for example, over 50% of our electricity is produced by green energy, and mostly windmills. We're a very small island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so we get a lot of wind coming off the sea, and the windmills produce over 40% of what we actually use on a daily basis, with the other 10 to 15% being other sources. Oddly enough, solar energy is becoming very popular here, with a lot of houses having their own solar panels on their roofs, and a lot of businesses installing them too. Because modern solar energy technology does not require direct sunlight. You can produce it even on a cloudy day, and cloudy days are like 99% of the days here in Ireland. So our government has a very ambitious goal to get us green energy reliant before the year 2030, with 80% of our energy being produced from green sources. And if we, a small country that is relatively modest amount of cash available and know-how available, if we can do it, God, any other country could. Like, well, bar those who are in very dire straits. America definitely could. But of course Donald Trump and his goons basically maintain that green energy is just a cult, that it is a ridiculous notion. We wonder why they say that. Like, it's very easy to understand, with the energy lobby in the United States being one of the most powerful, particularly the fossil fuel energy lobby. And these 4 years are going to cause huge amounts of damage and huge amounts of deaths, not only in the USA but across the world, due to this absolute obsession with drill. It is sad, it is ridiculous. People will look back at it and wonder what in the name of all that is good we were on when we had definitely had alternatives. They will see this period in the same way as we today look at the Crusades and wonder why in the name of all that is good did armies of Europeans just flood into the Middle East and slaughter anybody they could get their hands on. It's basically the same sort of thing, except replace God wills it with oil. We need it. So anyway, one of the saddest things about this whole escapade, both with regards to the war in Ukraine, which I'll be making more videos about as time goes by, and this new conflict with Iran, between the Americans and Iran, is the fact that they're so unnecessary. And this whole deal with the oil is one of the most unnecessary things that you could possibly imagine. Anyway, hope you have a good day. Bye bye.